What is going on, everybody? ProjectRodRod here, and just a quick reminder, don't forget to check out my Patreon link on the screen and in the description below to get early access. But it's time for the World Finals of Season 1 of the Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 sign-up series. This is the lineup for today's event, not including the Season 1 winner of the Arena Series, but this is the current standings in points for Season 1 of the Stadium Series. Remember, points collected in the World Finals count towards these totals, so anybody could win it at this point. And this is the results of the Arena Series. As you can see, Alien Invasion with 93 points, and with that got the final spot and an invitation to the World Finals and Season 2 of the Stadium Series. Backwards Bob, unfortunately, being in last place in Season 1 and is going to be kicked out of the Arena Series and replaced with somebody else. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with Alien Invasion and Cecily96, your Season 1 winner of the Arena Series. As you can see, these are her numbers for qualifying this year. Looks like the second stop of the season was when she struggled a little bit, but she came back in the 4th spot and got her one and only racing win of the season, or I guess event win, however you want to call it. But this is her first time. So 24.68, a really good speed, a really good time for qualifying. So we'll see where she lands up in the racing bracket later on as we go to her second run here. Now, as I mentioned before, in the 4th stop of the Arena Series, where she received her first racing win, she dominated that event, and that's really, she's running into some trouble here. I thought she was going to go over, but she was able to control it, but that will affect her time greatly. So this one, luckily she got a good time the first time around. This one's not going to look too good, and it's going to be a 28.5, so not the best, but best time out of both is the one that counts. So, got a good time the first time, she should be good to go. But as I was saying, that 4th event is really what propelled her to that first spot, lead, or first spot position in the leaderboards to eventually win the whole event. But this is Whiplash's numbers throughout the year, qualifying results throughout the year, and really not the best, almost last in every event. She has struggled a little bit. Morales TCS, one of 2 females in the Stadium Series, but now one of 3 in the World Finals, so that's actually really awesome. But here we go, her first time, a 25.48, so not enough to knock out Alien Invasion, but still a pretty good time. Now, as I was saying, just Whiplash has not had the best season so far, and is actually on the verge of being eliminated and sent down to the Arena Series for Season 2. It's a fight right now between her and Monster Mutt to see who's going to stay in the Stadium Series and who's going to get, I guess, demoted in a way to the Arena Series. But here we go. She's finishing her second time, a 24.89, a way better time and a crazy ending. Luckily, though, she's able to keep it on all 4s. Thankfully, she's done with qualifying, so anything wrong with the truck, they can take care of it now for the main event later on. But not enough to take out Alien Invasion, but still a very good time, so we'll see how the rest of qualifying goes as Monster Mutt comes out. This is Monster Mutt's numbers for this year. As you can see, had a pretty good run in qualifying, or at least in terms of qualifying in the 4th stop, and trouble here. He's able to save it though, and he's going to keep it going. Although that's really going to hurt his time. Hopefully the second go around he's able to do a little better and not have that little flip over. Ryan Hayward is a driver at 29.31, so again, really not the best time, though he does have one more go, and maybe this is the one that turns it all around for him. But Monster Mutt, again, another truck that is currently fighting, like I mentioned with Whiplash, is fighting for that last spot to stay in Season 2 of the Stadium Series. So, qualifying, again, points still count. It all comes down to the very end of World Finals to see who's going to stay and who's going to go. So it's pretty close. I believe Zombie is right behind Monster Mutt, but it's a pretty good lead, so I don't see them staying behind. But Monster Mutt at 25.52, so a better time as he struggles, and now he's on his lid. Fortunately, just like Whiplash, it's done and over with. Now they can go and focus on any repairs they need to for the main event. But good enough for third place at the moment as Zombie comes out. Zombie being driven by Eddie Garcia Jr. Here are his numbers for qualifying this year. So 12th, 8th, 4th, 8th, and 3rd. Showed promise, I believe, in the third stop where he was 4th in qualifying. But unfortunately was knocked out in the final round by Monster Dalmatian. So, again, really not the best year, but not too bad as he finishes up his first lap here. A 25.46 for Zombie. So pretty good time, good enough for third. But as I was saying previously with Monster Mud, he has roughly a 30-point lead over Monster Mud, so it'd be kind of hard for him to get eliminated at this point or sent down to the Arena Series, but you never know what could happen here. So, yeah, well, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens as he is halfway through his second attempt. As he goes to the final turn here, let's see what his final time is going to be. And a 25.02, so better than his first attempt. Not good enough to get the top spot, but still a pretty good time overall. As Mohawk Warrior comes out, driven by Blake Bell 2. Mohawk Warrior at some point looked like he may have been in the last place position, but managed to go up a little bit. Although these are his qualifying numbers, it wasn't until the last stop in San Diego where he was second fastest in qualifying, which was very impressive. And some trouble here. He's going to lose the Mohawk. There goes the Mohawk, and he's able to keep it running though, so hopefully nothing in the truck is damaged, and he should be able to finish this first run. I'm sure it's not going to be the best time, a 29.44. So, again, not the best time. That's really going to hurt him, but he has another attempt. Looks like everything's a go, and he's ready to go for his second attempt. I'm not going to lie, that truck looks very good without the Mohawk. He should really think about leaving it alone and just taking it off. So, but we are Mohawkless here for the second attempt. Let's see what's going to happen. Mohawk Warrior coming in with 104 points on the season. Again, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here in qualifying. A truck that should be safe from elimination, but again, you never know. And here we go, his second time, a 25.21, so a better time than before, but not enough to knock Alien Invasion out of their top spot. So the rookie, or not, I wouldn't say rookie, but I guess an underdog, coming from the Arena Series, which isn't used to these kinds of giant tracks, is really coming out with a really good time and holding their ground. But these are the qualifying numbers for Bakugan this year. Started off strong in the beginning and then kind of slowed down a little bit towards the end there. But they did come out and put on some great shows this year. Currently in 8th place with 130 points and driven by Lane Flores 2, a 25.07 for their first time. So not too bad. But Bakugan Dragonoid, again, just showed a lot of promise. I believe had 2 freestyle wins on the year. First stop was in Anaheim where they won with a 42. And then I believe it was it Glendale when they won again? Yes, it was Glendale when they won again with a 39. So those were really the highlights of the season for Bakugan, but after the third stop, it kind of slowed down a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but unfortunately didn't really get a top spot this year. But a 25.27 for Bakugan in the second attempt. So not enough to take out that first place spot, but still not bad. As Avenger comes out, Avenger driven by Nicholas Morkis ended with 133, but currently with 133 points. These are the qualifying numbers or positions for the year. Got first place in qualifying in Atlanta, which was the third stop this year. And honestly, I thought he was going to come in and take that racing win, but unfortunately crashed in the semifinals versus Zombie in a 24.94. So we're finally back in the 24 range, and it's looking good for Avengers. So a really good time. Let's see what the second one is. But yeah, had a flip over in the semifinals against Zombie, which cost him the race, and Zombie ended up going and losing to Monster Mud Dalmatian. But who knows how it could have differed. Maybe we would have had Avenger as the winner instead of Monster Mud Dalmatian had he not flipped over. So you never know. All these things change in an instant. So you can never be too sure. But here we go, the final turn of his run. Let's see what his time's going to be. And a 24.96, so not better than their first time, but still a really good time overall. I believe the first truck to have two 24-second runs in each attempt, so that's good news. But now we're moving on to El Toro Loco, who currently sits in 6th place with 139 points. These are the qualifying numbers for this year. Yeah, those are the qualifying numbers for this year. Not really much to say there, but the driver is Julian Peacock Jr. in some trouble. That corner has taken out a few people already. Didn't lose the horns though, but there he goes. It's going to hurt his time a little bit, but he should be fine. That horn is hanging on for dear life right there. A 28.90 for El Toro Loco's first attempt. Thought he was going to go over again, but no, he's good. Here comes the second attempt. Horn is still hanging on for dear life. But let's see what this second time is going to be. El Toro, I believe, had a 1, maybe 2 skills wins. I don't remember exactly. I'd have to double check. But was killing it in skills this year. So I'd like to pull up the... Oh, trouble here. Trouble. And he goes over, so he's not going to get a second time. We're going to have to go off of his first time, which wasn't a good one. So we're just going to have to wait and see on race day and see what happens. As Gravedigger comes down and Tom Holland Spider-Man. Here are the qualifying numbers for Gravedigger this year. Kind of the mid-range, you know. Had a great freestyle run and I believe a freestyle win. Again, I'd have to check the numbers again. We're going to run the numbers here throughout the event today to make sure we have accurate counts of everything. But had a pretty good season. 5th place with 149 points, currently at 26.13. Not the best time, or not enough to get that first place spot, but one more attempt left. However, pretty good spot this year. 5th place, or currently 5th place with 149 points. Kind of just stayed, you know, kind of mid-range this year. Had some really good really good shows and whatnot, but just didn't have enough. But it is World Finals, so maybe he can walk out of here with a championship under his belt. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. As we're about to see what his second time is, and it is a 25.12, so a better time. Not enough for first place, but still a good time. So ready to see where they're going to land in the bracket. Here comes Max D and Ethan Waters, currently in 4th place with 150 points. Max D, another truck that's just been a little bit back and forth this year. These are the qualifying numbers. I'd really love to get the racing numbers for everybody this year. We're definitely going to run those stats and include that in the try to include that during the racing portion of the World Finals. A little bit of trouble there. That might affect his time a bit. A 25.20, so not bad, but I'm sure that little bit of a hiccup there where he may have turned a little early, I'm sure that messed him up a bit. Now going on to the second attempt. But yeah, we're definitely going to get these numbers ran and make sure that we have all these stats for the rest of the event, especially the racing. I really like to see where everybody landed with wins and losses this year. Not overall wins, not event wins, just, round wins, if that makes sense. A little bit of trouble there again. 25.20, I believe, was his last time. So let's see what he's going to get this time. A 26.05, so it affected him pretty badly. We're going to have to go with the first time, so here's what it is. We move on with Mossima Dalmatian, our 3-time winner this year. Came out and absolutely killed it in racing. I'd like to see where they land in qualifying this year. This is the qualifying throughout the year. Started off kind of slow, got second and fastest qualifier, the third and fourth show, and then last place in the 5th and final show, which she ended up winning racing in. April Summers is the driver, by the way. Currently in 3rd place with 158 points. And here comes the first time, a 24.28. So, enough to take that top qualifying spot here in Vegas at the World Finals. So, Alien Invasion is now 2nd fastest in qualifying. But I'd expect it out of her. At this point, Mossima Dalmatian, and I don't want to be biased in any kind of way, but Mossima Dalmatian is my favorite going into racing just because of the racing record alone this year. or not really the record necessarily, because we haven't ran those numbers yet, but the amount of wins this year. She did incredible in racing throughout the whole year. So 25.08 for the second time. The first time was the best one. However, not a bad time for the second one. As Blue Thunder comes out, our two-time winner this year. Could have been three-time. I mean, at this point, it was either Blue Thunder got 3 wins and 3 wins, or Monster got 3 wins. Dalmatian got 3 wins. So, I don't know. It was these two absolutely dominating racing this year. But these are the qualifying numbers for Blue Thunder. Not the best, however, that didn't matter because he was just winning them left and right, it seemed like. So, honestly, the 5th stop was the tiebreaker between these two, so it was really fun to watch. But here we go. Here's the first time for Blue Thunder, a 24.67. A good time, not the best. I believe it's good enough for 3rd at the moment. But Blue Thunder, driven by MT World Media, and currently in 2nd place with 162 points. So, has been a little battle between him and April Summers and Monster Dalmatian on that 2nd place spot, but I know they love the 1st place spot, but man, Northern Nightmare just dominated this year. So I'm interested to see. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen. Really, I mean, it's a lot of talent out here, a lot of great drivers, a lot of underdogs. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. But a 24.47 as Blue Thunder's flips at the finish line. Thankfully, it was after his runs were done. Looks like the truck is okay. Of course, they're going to go inspect it before they move any forward anymore. But that was crazy. As Northern Nightmare comes out, your 1st place spot with 183 points. Alex Stevens, the driver. These are the numbers for qualifying. Top qualifier 3 times this year, but no racing win to show for it. The very first stop of the season in Anaheim, made it to the final round and lost. And after that, still stayed pretty dominant in terms of qualifying, but just never had that spark again. Never got a racing win. A 24.71, good enough for 4th place if I'm not mistaken, but they got one more go. But Northern Nightmare knocked out by Blue Thunder in the 1st stop. 2nd stop knocked out by Monster Dalmatian in the finals. And then I believe after that, that was it. We never saw Northern Nightmare in the finals again. So, that didn't look too good. That might add some extra time, some extra unwanted time to this this attempt. But yeah, Northern Nightmare dominating this season. I'm sure he's gonna probably end up on top and get the season 1 points win, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. A 24.87, so still a really good time. Had he not had that little bit of a overturn there, I'm sure the time would have been a lot faster. But these are the final qualifying numbers. Monster Dalmatian and April Summers is your top qualifier with a 24.28. Blue Thunder in 2nd with a 24.47, and Alien Invasion in 3rd with a 24.68. So not bad for the Arena Series winner, not being used to something like this. But before we get to the racing bracket, here comes Stone Crusher from the Arena Series. Undead Elkins, the driver behind this truck, was 5th place in the Arena Series, unfortunately, but will return for Season 2. Had a total of 58 points for Season 1, so we figured we'd give him an invite to the World Finals to, let loose and have some fun. As he's flipping all over the place, he's going to save it. Let's see, he was 0-5 in racing this season, so didn't have the best luck this year. I'm sure that's why he's in 5th place. I don't mean to dog on him, but, it was an unlucky season. However, we figured we'd invite him over to blow off some steam, have some fun, show the crowd, what he's capable of. These are his numbers in qualifying this year. Was 1st in qualifying in the 2nd stop, which I believe that's when he came close to winning racing, or he did win racing. No, he came close to winning racing. That stop, I don't remember. That was a good while ago. But still had a great season overall. Had his moments where he shined, and can't wait to see what he has in store in Season 2. He will be returning for Season 2. Backwards Bob was in 6th place and was the one that got eliminated. So, here we go, an 8.215 average score in skills this season. As he backs up, let's see how much air he gets. About halfway. That's a really long jump, so I don't think anyone can really clear that. And a save. Possibly what's going on here, cartwheel, I don't know. He's back on all 4s though, and that's all that matters. I'm sure the crowd is loving it. I'm sure he's going to run for about 2 minutes here, the average freestyle run. And he's trying to save it, trying to keep it on all fours, and there it is. That's the end of his run. 34 in average freestyle score this season. Had 1 freestyle win in Wilkes-Barre. Stone Crusher and Undell Elkins, everybody. What a great run, and can't wait to see him in Season 2. But let's move on to the racing bracket for the World Finals. As you can see, Monster Mud Dalmatian, Alien Invasion, and Blue Thunder get the bye run into round 2, while everyone else has to go and race in round 1 for that spot. So, very interested to see what the outcome is going to be. So, comment down below. Let me know who you think is going to be the racing winner of World Finals 1 this season, and who's going to win Season 1 of the Stadium Series Points Series. This is the leaderboards after qualifying. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in racing. And don't forget to check out my Patreon for early access and other exclusive content.